Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 464, Sarah Faces a Challenge. Collocations. Intermediate. Sarah had recently started a new job in a busy marketing office in the centre of London. She was excited about the opportunity, but also felt nervous. It was a big company with high expectations, and she really wanted to make a good impression. During her first week, she tried hard to learn the ropes and settle in. Her colleagues seemed friendly, and her manager, Mr. Henderson, had given her a warm welcome. This week, however, Sarah faced a major challenge. She had to give a presentation to the senior management team on Friday morning. The presentation was about a new marketing campaign she had been asked to do research on. Sarah immediately started to feel the pressure. Public speaking wasn't her strong point, and the thought of standing in front of the senior managers made her stomach churn. She knew she had to prepare thoroughly. She spent a lot of time gathering information and analysing data. She worked hard creating her slides, making sure they were clear and visually appealing. She often stayed late at the office, long after her colleagues had gone home. She made progress, but doubts kept creeping into her mind. What if she made a mistake? What if they didn't like her ideas? Sometimes she lost confidence and felt quite overwhelmed. On Wednesday afternoon, David, a friendly colleague from her team, noticed she looked worried. "Are you all right, Sarah?" he asked kindly. "You look a bit stressed." Sarah decided to be honest. "It's this presentation on Friday," she confessed. "I'm finding it quite difficult. I'm worried I'll mess up." David smiled sympathetically. "It's perfectly normal to feel nervous," he said. "I used to get terribly anxious before presentations too. Why don't we take a short break? I'll make us a cup of tea and we can have a quick chat about it." They went to the small office kitchen. David put the kettle on while Sarah found 2 mugs. As they waited for the tea, David offered some helpful advice. "The most important thing," he said, "is to know your subject inside out. If you're confident about the information, it makes a huge difference. And remember to speak clearly and make eye contact. Don't be afraid to take your time." He also suggested she should practice aloud. "Run through the presentation a few times," he advised. "Maybe even practice in front of a mirror. It really helps you gain confidence." Sarah listened carefully, taking notes mentally. David's words of encouragement and practical tips made her feel much better. His support made a real difference to her state of mind. That evening, Sarah followed David's advice. After having a simple dinner, she practiced her presentation aloud in her living room. She imagined the senior manager sitting in front of her. She focused on speaking slowly and clearly. She ran through her slides several times until she felt more comfortable. Before she went to bed, she laid out her clothes for the next day and tried to get a good night's sleep. Friday morning arrived, the big day. Sarah felt butterflies in her stomach as she walked into the modern meeting room. The senior managers were already there, chatting quietly. She took a deep breath and tried to keep calm. She remembered David's advice: know your subject, speak clearly, make eye contact. She managed a bright smile as Mr. Henderson introduced her. She started speaking. Her voice was a little shaky at first, but as she got into the presentation, she found her rhythm. She explained the research findings, presented the campaign ideas, and highlighted the potential benefits. She paid attention to her pacing and made sure to look at everyone in the room. She even managed to answer the questions they asked at the end quite confidently. When she finished, there was a moment of silence, and then Mr. Henderson spoke. "Thank you, Sarah," he said, smiling warmly. "That was an excellent presentation, very thorough research and some really interesting ideas. You did a great job." Sarah breathed a huge sigh of relief. A wave of pride washed over her. She had faced her challenge and succeeded. As she gathered her notes, David, who had slipped into the back of the room to offer moral support, gave her a discreet thumbs up. Walking back to her desk, Sarah felt much more confident. She had made an effort, prepared well, and overcome her nerves. She knew there would be more challenges ahead, but now she felt ready to take them on. She could finally relax and look forward to the weekend, feeling she had truly made a positive contribution to the team. Her future prospects at the company suddenly felt much brighter. Vocabulary notes. Make a good impression, meaning to make other people have a positive opinion of you, especially when you first meet them or start something new, like a job. Example, she really wanted to make a good impression. Another example, he dressed smartly for the interview to make a good impression. Similar phrases, create a positive image, get off on the right foot. Opposite, make a bad impression. Learn the ropes, meaning, this is an idiom. It means to learn the basic things you need to know to do a particular job or activity. Example, during her first week, she tried hard to learn the ropes and settle in. Another example, it takes a few weeks for new employees to learn the ropes. Similar phrases, get the hang of something, understand the basics, find your feet. Face a challenge, meaning to deal with or confront a difficult situation, task, or problem. Example, this week, however, Sarah faced a major challenge. Later, she had faced her challenge and succeeded. Another example, the company is facing the challenge of declining sales. Similar phrases, deal with a difficulty, confront a problem, tackle an obstacle. Feel the pressure, meaning to feel worried or stressed because of demands or expectations placed on you by work, time, other people, etc. Example, Sarah immediately started to feel the pressure. Another example, athletes often feel the pressure before a big competition. Related words, stressed, anxious, under strain, overwhelmed, feeling too much pressure. Mess it up, meaning informal, to do something badly, incorrectly, or to spoil something. Example, I'm worried I'll mess it up. Another example, I tried to bake a cake, but I messed it up completely. Similar phrases, make a mistake, get it wrong, spoil something, ruin something, stronger. Opposite, get it right, succeed, do a good job. Offer advice, words of encouragement, meaning offer advice to give someone suggestions or recommendations about what they should do. Words of encouragement, things you say to give someone support, confidence, or hope. Example, David offered some helpful advice. David's words of encouragement made her feel much better. Another example, my teacher offered me some advice on how to improve my essay. A few words of encouragement from her friends helped her finish the race. Similar phrases, give tips, suggest supportive words, reassurance, praise. Gain confidence, lose confidence, meaning gain confidence to become more sure of your abilities or value. Lose confidence to become less sure of your own abilities or value. Example, it really helps you gain confidence. Sometimes she lost confidence and felt quite overwhelmed. Another example, practicing regularly helped him gain confidence before the concert. After receiving criticism, she started to lose confidence in her work. Related words, self-assurance, self-esteem, insecurity, self-doubt. Take on, a challenge, task, responsibility, meaning phrasal verb, to accept or decide to do something, especially something difficult or demanding. Example, now she felt ready to take them on, the challenges. Another example, she's decided to take on the role of team leader. Similar phrases, accept, undertake, tackle, agree to do. Story written by Gemini AI. Image created by ImageFX AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.